I gave her. You see?
Way too. I've been waiting for this moment. A brother been waiting for this moment. Because I finally beat that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, my brothers and sisters. This game took a lot to get through. This game, I feel like this game was one of the most difficult games to get through, and not even necessarily because it was a bad game. I still enjoyed this game, but it was very hard to get through. And I'm about to get into all that in this review. I'm sure a lot of my Twitch viewers that watch me stream this entire game are waiting for what I'm about to say. So yeah, I had beat Rebirth maybe, it was like last week, well, going on like a week and a half now. I was doing a lot of like, I wasn't trying to rush through the game. I don't do that no more just for the sake of getting a review out in like a week or two. I'm not rushing to beat any of these $70 games. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna take my sweet time, and you know, when I beat it, if I feel like doing a review for it, I'll do it. If I don't, I won't. Like that's just how I go about it now. I'm not rushing to beat these games just for the sake of having a review out as soon as possible. This game was honestly one of, if not the most anticipated game for this year. I know people have been saying there's really, you know, not a lot of good games to look forward to this year. I disagree. We're still getting like a lot of great titles. Maybe not a lot of like big AAA blockbuster titles, but you know, we still get in games, but that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Was it worth the 70 bones, my brothers and sisters? Well, let's see.
He wants to finish what he started. He wants to reclaim his birthright.
Just look at it all. It's so green. Even after everything we've done to it, it's still going strong.
Sephiroth was in Midgard. We fought him. Whatever happened, he's alive.
But why come back now?
It's upon us. The reunion, when worlds merge. Good, Aerith. Pray.
Well, whatever happens, I'm here for you.
No!
Story in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This is, of course, a continuation of Part 1 remake that came out in 2020. And I guess we're going to get Part 3 in like another 4 to 5 years. So this was Part 2 to the, you know, one of the most classic games, at least from what I've heard, Final Fantasy VII. And this was a continuation again of, you know, what happened in Part 1 and how that game ended. In this game, the story, though good, in my opinion at least, it's way tougher to follow. Because there's a lot more going on in this game. This game is a lot way bigger than I thought it would be. Like, I mean, yeah, it's a RPG, but you know, Part 1 was kind of like more direct, linear experience in that game. And this game, it's way more expanded. It's way more open. There's a lot more stuff going on. And because of that, I felt like the story was affected. When it's focusing on the main story, like what we, you know, came to see, and like the stuff going on with Sephiroth and, you know, Cloud, and, you know, trying to stop Sephiroth from essentially freaking Thanos in the world. Like when it's focusing on that stuff, it's very good. The game looks amazing. The cutscenes is great. Like the dialogue and the stuff that's going on, all that stuff is great. But the pacing in this game, in my opinion, really hurts this game at times. Like more so than it did in part one. Because I remember in part one also had some pacing issues at times. Some of the chapters would like drag out. There were sections in that game that I didn't enjoy playing through. But because this game is that much bigger, essentially twice the size of part one, it's even more of an issue. And I feel like, personally, y'all let me know if y'all feel the same way. Because this game is releasing in parts, you really starting to see like the cons of that. Which I'll get into that later, but that's something else that I felt like was like, man, times to where there will be something big that happens in the main storyline, and you're like, okay, let's go. This is what I came to see. Like, this game was killing me when it would do stuff like that. It would have a big moment in like the main storyline, and then the very next second, you're doing like mini games and riding. You're doing freaking mini games and freaking drifting on chocobos and just doing all this silly, goofy stuff. Now, the thing is, which was so wild to me, damn near all of the mini games in this game, because listen, you could make the argument, instead of calling this Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, you could call this Final Fantasy VII mini games, because dog, the mini games that this game have, granted, most of them are fun. Like, I was getting sick of the mini games in this junk. Sick of the mini games in this damn game. But when you're playing them, you're like, dog, this junk is actually fun. So like, I can't even hate, because it's not like, I mean, I'd say at least 80 to 85% of all of like the little mini games they had in this game, to me, were fun. Like, they were stupid at times and like, yo, why am I doing this after what I just seen? But once you started doing it, you was like, hey, this junk is fun. But because of stuff like that, it was just killing the flow of this game. And, you know, people, because I did not play the original FF7, I had people constantly saying in my chat, well, this was how the OG game was. I don't care about how the OG game was. The freaking OG game dropped in what, like freaking 1990 something. As a first time player of FF7, I'm sure a lot of people are just playing FF7 for the first time, you know, and I've even been hearing from a lot of like the OG stands of FF7 that they don't even really like these remakes that they've been doing for FF7. So just because it was like that in the original, I'm not trying to hear that. We in 2024, and like, personally, though the mini games were good, I felt like that is another thing that really messed up the pacing of this game. I mean, hell, dog, sometimes Barrett was carrying this story. Barrett was carrying the main story to me, because he was like the only one to where, like, when it would get to him, like, the story would get like more serious, and they would show like, you know, less goofy stuff and more like a serious tone. Like, okay, this is like a serious moment. I felt like, personally, at times this game was like a little too like goofy to me. And again, like, it's not like any of that stuff was like necessarily bad. It was just the timing and when they chose to do it is the big issue that I had with this game. Getting back into how I felt like now you're really starting to see the cons of this game being released in parts. I'm guessing part 3 is going to be the last part. I hope so. I hope so. Yeah, even the ending of this game, and again, if you was in chat, like when they would get back to like Sephiroth and like what he was doing, and like you need to stop this man. That joke was epic. like before you do that last battle, and like Sephiroth is going off on his like speech and stuff like that, and you just singing like dog. Those were the moments where like, yo, you can see. Even if you didn't really like this game, you could see how much like time and love and just detail that they put into this game. Like there's certain sections of this game to where like the cutscenes is going on and like that and the action is on like 10. You can see like, dog, they put a lot of time in. Like you can see why it takes them 4 to 5 years to put out each part. So that was epic, but yeah, I this whole constant of going after Sephiroth too, I feel like is starting to become an issue because this game releases in parts. Part 1 ended where you fighting Sephiroth, and then after that fight is over, you know, Usuckis is talking, Sephiroth goes, you know, off on his own, and then it's like, well, we have to go after Sephiroth. Like there's so many moments in this game to where Sephiroth will appear on screen for like 5 seconds, freaking smile or say reunion. Like he'll like there's so many times where they tease Sephiroth on screen. He says like 2 or 3 words, then freaking disappears, and then the crew says we have to go after Sephiroth. Fast forward an hour later, Sephiroth shows up. He says a word or 2. He disappears. We have to go after Sephiroth. Fast forward an hour later, you're doing some stuff. Sephiroth shows up on the screen. He stares at Cloud for like 2 or 3 seconds. Cloud is like, freaking, you know, spazzing out like he always freaking does. And Sephiroth disappears. They're like, we have to go after Sephiroth. Fast forward 2 hours later, Sephiroth shows up in like the back, like, and Cloud is like, Sephiroth. The big final battle happens. It literally ends kind of in a way just like part 1. There's a big battle, you and Sephiroth, of course. As soon as it ends,
Now let's go get Sephiroth. He's hiding up
you
north.
see what I'm talking about, bro? Like, how many times are we gonna get well, y'all let me know. Y'all let me know, and you let me know if I'm complaining. Like, how many times I know you have to finish the game. I know this junk is 3 parts. This is cool if like this is the full game. But if part 1 kinda ended the same way with them saying after you just fought Sephiroth, we have to continue chasing after Sephiroth, this junk ends the same way, and now we have to wait another 4 to 5 years to most likely get the exact same. It's just kinda like you never get that like climactic moment of like, whew, yo, we really just did that. We just beat him, because he's constantly just leaving and they're saying the same stuff. We have to go. What you mean? What you mean I gotta go after Sephiroth? I just beat this sucker. But because again, this is releasing in parts, they have to do it this way. And when you have to wait 4 to 5 years for the next part, I feel like now you're really starting to see the issues with the pacing in this game because of the way, you know, they're going about you know, doing this game. Now I know in part 1, I heard the entirety of part 1 was like what, 3 or 4 hours, or like 2 hours of like the OG FF7. So they're expanding on a lot of stuff. And I get that, because again, I'm like well, I could come off as like I'm slandering the story right now. Again, I still thought when it was doing what it was supposed to do, it was good, but it's really starting to stick out like a sore thumb, in my opinion. The pacing of this game and the cons of them making this remake a part 3 series. Now, like I said, there's a lot more to do in this game. This game is like, I feel like twice, maybe even 3 times the size of part 1. There's a lot of stuff to do in this game to distract you from the story. And I mean, again, my Twitch chat can tell you, when I first started playing this game, bro, I was trying to 100% every region that I was in. I think I 100%ed the first like 3 or 4 regions in this game, because it was actually fun. Like, the side quests in this game are much better than they were in part 1. Not all of them are good, but if you played part 1, we all know that the side quests in part 1, Lord, you can explore more. There's a lot more things to do. All of the stuff with the intel in this game, and all of the freaking mini games that this junk has, and the combat simulator battles. Queen's Blood is literally one of the best parts about this damn game. I did a vid on it. Queen's Blood alone can take up like
3:28 a.m.
It's time to do.
I bet suckers did not think when the Rebirth arc started, we gonna spend most of the time playing a damn card game. Got his ass. Got his freaking stupid ass. Almost gave up.
Got his ass.
Got his freaking ass. That junk got no reason being that damn addicting in this game. If they was to ever have a separate mode for Queen's Blood, I would be there day one. Queen's Blood alone is like more side content than one can ask for. You got the Fort Condor, which in Intergrade, to where you first seen it in there, I thought that was going to be the thing that takes my attention away, from from the other stuff in this game. Honestly, I did play Fort Condor a few times, but not like I did Queen's Blood. Queen's Blood was my thing. I was addicted to that game. Every single time I seen that little symbol on the map, I'm like, let's play some Queen's Blood, because this junk is addicting. So again, all of the other things that you can do in this game to take your attention away from the storyline, to put even more hours into the game, is commendable. Getting to the combat in this game. Now, I don't care what no one say. I've heard so many people say that the combat in part 1 was better. What type of smack? What? I said smack. What type of crack are you smoking? The combat in this game is one of the most improved aspects, I feel like, about this game. The combat in this game is much better than part 1. You got way more things to do, way more skills, and way more abilities of things that you can do. You have the synergy skills. You got more crew members with, Red and freaking Yuffie and others. But the combat in this game, I felt like, was one of the best aspects of this game. I love the combat. Once you get used to, the new things they have in this game, everyone feels upgraded in this game. Like, literally everyone. Maybe Barrett kind of plays like I feel he plays the most like he did in part 1. Tifa feels like she's been completely fine-tuned and more OP than ever. Cloud, Aerith, bro, Aerith can actually do damage in this freaking game. Yuffie is playing a whole entirely different game with all of the stuff that she's able to do. Red, I love using Red. Like, everybody in this game feels upgraded. And when you know what to do and how to play the game when you're going against bosses and all of these different creatures and stuff, and you're using your synergy skills and doing everything right, you cannot say that the combat in this game was not drastically improved from part 1. I loved it. However, if my Twitch chat probably know what I'm about to bring up. And this was an issue in part 1 as well, but I feel like it was even more of an issue in this game. I did not like the way that they did boss fights in this game. Can somebody tell me who decided to make every boss battle in this game a gigantic sponge fight, to where they're just eating all of your attacks and you taking down that health meter slowly but surely. But as soon as they reach a certain level of health, they got this pull out the hat trick, pull out from underneath your sleeve move that can kill your entire damn squad in one move. It don't matter if you fighting a boss in chapter 1. It don't matter if you fighting the last boss in chapter 14. Literally, every boss battle in this game works and plays the exact same way. It don't matter if you doing the summon boss battles in the combat simulator missions. Every single boss battle in this game essentially plays the exact same way. They might do different moves, but they all play the exact same way. None of these boss battles feel hard in this game. I felt like the boss battles in Final Fantasy VII Part 1, some were actually difficult, like the Hell House. The Hell House was actually a hard boss fight. I'm like, now, I was getting like frustrated. In this game, I was getting frustrated because every boss battle in this game, even Sephiroth himself, feels easy to beat. But once they do that one move that can take out your whole entire squad, unless you kill them before they are able to do that move, you already lost. You already lost. So it's literally like a race to kill them before they do that move. They're not doing nothing that is hard to counter or get through. You know how to beat them, but it's like, unless you could do maximum damage before they get this move off, you're dead. And again, it don't matter if you fighting a boss in chapter 3. It don't matter if you fighting a summon boss battle ancient in freaking in the Chadley combat simulator missions. It don't matter if you fighting Genova, Sephiroth himself. They all play the exact same way. And that was so frustrating to me, because I'm like, dog, this combat is way too good to have these damn boss battles play the way that they playing. Whose idea was that? Who's like, who? I know in part 1, because part 1 had sponge boss battles too. They all feel like that, especially like RPG games. They mostly feel like just giant sponge fights, to where they're just you just gotta like continue like just pick at them as they lose health. But at least in part 1, they didn't have like a move that can just like, not every boss battle just had a move that can just essentially kill you, you know, unless you kill them first. I feel like this game relied too much on that. They did that with so many enemies in this game that it just got frustrating. It got like not fun to play. I was raging against Sephiroth, not because that he was hard, but because I was literally trying to do maximum damage before he was able to get his move off. And this is not just him. This is multiple fights in this game. That was a huge issue for me that I don't feel like people talk about enough in this game. It has nothing to do with get her good, bro. Get her your skills up. No, sucker, I don't like this. I don't like the way that they're doing this. And yeah, I no. I ain't even get to the performance issues that this game had. We all know that the performance issues that this game had, they put out a patch for it that was supposed to fix things. I didn't even notice a damn change, like, at all. Like, when they put out that junk, I was like, maybe I could see like a higher pixel here and there, like more frames or less, or less frames are dropping. It's so even, like, I felt like that patch did nothing. So I played the entirety of this game on the 30 FPS. I felt like performance mode, though I get why people want to play on 60 FPS, I just could not do it. That junk just looked like you was looking through something through like smeared glasses. I could not do it. I could not do it. I tried it multiple times. I'm like, oh no, there's no way I'm going to sacrifice how good this game actually looks like playing it like this the whole time. I could not do it, so I played on the 30 FPS mode the whole time, and you get used to it. Again, like I can still play games at 30 FPS if I have to. So yeah, the performance issues, that's something else that this game has going against it. Once you know, that's all great at like the very beginning, like, you know, seeing all of the stuff that you can do and, you know, the hours of time that you realize you're about to put into this game. But yeah, once I hit like chapter, I think it was around like chapter 7 or 8, and you looking at that map, man. You looking at that Ubisoft and tell me the map in this game don't kind of resemble Ubisoft. You seeing all these icons on the map, and you just like, bruh. You feel like there were multiple moments in this game. Though again, I was enjoying the side content. I was going out of my way to do side content, but it does get to a point to where it starts to feel a little overwhelming. Once I beat the game, it was like 85 to 86 hours. And I'm like, dog, why does this junk feel so long? Why does this game feel so long to beat? And then I compared it to Elden Ring. Once I beat Elden Ring, because once I beat that game, I didn't really play it like after that. I didn't like, you know, look for no side stuff and kept on playing it. Once I beat that game, I stopped. And I was like at 134 hours in Elden Ring. But Elden Ring did not even feel nowhere near like that. Why did a 84, 85 hour game feel longer than what I did in Elden Ring? And I said before that Elden Ring had a refreshing take on the open world experience. They just let you explore. Like, there was no, like, you know, like boundaries of when you was able to go here or go there. You kind of just naturally explored and found out places and did things. In this game, there's certain regions in this game that are so annoying to explore around, and like they got mountains, and I'm like, dog, this region sucks to traverse. Like, I don't want to be here right now, but because I'm in this chapter, I have to be here. And yeah, it's not just this game that does it, because again, I am very strict with what open world games I choose to play, and this is why. Because when you are dedicating your time and investing 80 to 100 plus hours into an open world game, unless you are truly 100% engaged in it, at times you are going to feel overwhelmed. And that is how I started to feel in this game. And I just thought it was so confusing how I never felt like that in Elden Ring when I put a lot more time into that game compared to Rebirth. And I was just like, dog, this game, though it is a lot more stuff to do and it is way more expanded, it gets tiring. You kind of start to feel burnt out playing this game. And yeah, I felt like the pacing in this game and the flow of the story is the biggest criticism that I have about this game. The biggest critique that I felt like that could have made this game like an easy 9 or 10 out of 10 dropped this game at least 2 points for me because of how they were doing it. And again, I know that I still think this is one of the best remakes or reboots that we have ever seen, you know, with all of the era that we live into where all of these games are getting remakes or remasters. This is still like one of the best ones out there. But again, because this game is releasing in parts, and this was part 2, right now, as I sit here today, it is currently, as I'm recording this, it is May 3rd, 2024, 12:46 in the morning as I sit before you here today, after getting through Rebirth, after putting 85 hours into Rebirth, I uninstalled that game as soon as I beat it. I will not be doing the new game plus on hard mode anytime soon. And dog, I'm not even trying to think about part 3 right now. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to think of part 3 because of the way this one was told and the pacing of it in this game, and because of how they're doing Sephiroth and how he's just constantly appearing and we're always chasing after this man, even though once we reach him and beat him, we still then have to continue chasing this man. I'm not looking forward to part 3 right now. I'm not. I'm not. I am giving this game a 7.5 out of 10. I was bouncing back and forth between a 7.5 or an 8, but I felt like the cons that this game have really affects it that much for me. It really does. Like the pacing in this game, it's worse than part 1 for me. It really is. And part 1 had pacing issues and some sections dragged and some sections I did not like playing through. This game has 4 less chapters, but they're longer, but it has even more pacing issues. It has even more sections at times that drag. It has even more sections at times where like, dog, I do not feel like doing this right now. I didn't even get to that one mission that you had to do with Kate Sith. We ain't even gonna, like, there's so much sections that I can talk about this game that I struggled with. There's so many things that I could talk about this game that though I enjoyed, I'm like, dog, you are interfering with an epic part of this damn scene that we just saw. Like, this junk just happened and now I'm doing this? Like, what the hell? Like, it affects the game, in my opinion, that much. And I still think I do not regret purchasing this game at all. I still had fun playing this game. I do not regret playing this game, but this game is a flawed game. It is a very flawed game. As an overall packaged experience, I just felt like from head to toe, part 1 was just a better game. From just an overall package. This game has a lot more to offer to you, but it's so like scrambled up and like it's like a freaking breakfast plate. Like you see the bacon, you see the eggs, you see the sausages, you see the grits, you see the biscuits, but like some of the freaking grits is like on the freaking table. You got 2 of your biscuits that just fell on the floor. The freaking bacon is not crispy. It's kind of just like soft, that like soft strangly like the soft strangly bacon. That's literally how this game is. It's like a good breakfast plate, but not everything is cooked and put on the plate exactly how you want it. That's the best way that I can. That is the best way that I can explain my personal experience. My personal experience. I don't want to see none of you suckers being like, I told you, sucker, you don't like games. All you do is complain, darky. Put down the sticks, unk. I ain't trying to hear none of that. I put 85 hours plus into this damn game. What did you guys think about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth if you bought it? What is your verdict on the entirety of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? What did you think about the game? What review score would you give it? Y'all let me know if I'm wrong, if I'm hating. Leave it all down in the comments section below. I don't delete comments. I read them. I read them. So y'all let me know what y'all think. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Till my next video, my brothers and sisters. I'll catch y'all in my next one, all right?